know the video of the woman that's talking in her car, talking about how she told her husband 6 months ago that she wanted a divorce, and apparently though, that he's like this perfect husband. He's loyal, he's hardworking, he's a good man, and she's just like always had this feeling that something has been missing, but they've been married for 10 years. She made a video where she is just videoing her husband doing things like work things outside, hardworking, get your hands dirty, man things. And after all of the videos that she's made, I think that is some risky behavior. Because how many people are telling Ryan to run? How many people are pressuring them? How many people are going to try to find his account because they like what they see and they know that his wife is considering leaving him? You know what I mean? Like women that might find him attractive, that are hearing all of these great things about him that you're telling and that you're willingly admitting that you don't appreciate, at least enough to stay with him. I don't know, guys. Should I stitch the video or not? Do you guys remember a few weeks back, the viral video of this woman that I've talked about a few different times? She's sitting in her car saying that she wanted a divorce from her husband of 10 years. She described her husband as hardworking, loyal, and a good man, and she couldn't pinpoint anything that he was really doing wrong. But they share 3 children and something was just always missing. This is her first video showing off her husband. This was Ryan. I talked about in my last video how this is not a good idea by her. She's literally at this point, it could be seen as her advertising him because the internet right now is telling her husband Ryan to run. Meanwhile, she is making more videos talking about how they are not getting divorced. They are going to work through it. But for me, this is where you just have to cut your losses and stop making the videos because you have essentially already told the world that you're not happy, you're not appreciative of all of the good qualities of this man, and then you start posting all of the great qualities of him. I don't know, I think that's dangerous territory. I mean, you're pretty much advertising for his future dating profile.
And it's crazy because now she's trying to show all of the good sides of, look what I have. I have the perfect life. After you just said that you didn't want it. I don't get it. Are you confused? Are you bored? Are you looking to start another TV show or something like that? And maybe you're pitching it to the executives like kind of low key and they see it and they want to pick up the story because it's drama and you want to get a percentage of the sales. I'm not sure. The whole plan was just dumb from the beginning.
People get mad when you say you're a single mom who won't date men with kids. But there was a creator on here and she said, one man's trash is another man's treasure, but one woman's trash is every woman's trash because women don't get rid of good men and good dads.
Okay. Right.
Makes so much sense. Like, if your baby mama don't want you, why the fuck?
You have a tattoo on your forehead. Why would I listen to you? Why would anyone take you serious? You put permanent ink right on your face.
These women really don't know what they're losing until it's gone because they think that they're such a catch. Until the man, like I said in other clips, figures out, well, maybe I better throw this one back.
Just saw a video of a woman who was running in a marathon, and when she looks over, she notices a friend of hers flew in from London to watch her finish. The friend flew in for like 24 hours, and she sees the friend and she immediately starts bawling. She's like crying and running, and you could tell she's like overjoyed that her friend would do such a thing. I think sometimes when men are questioning why women are choosing to be single,
Hey, stop there. Stop there. What did men do again? How are we involved in people running and a friend going to support a friend? What did men do again? How did we get into this conversation of a friend from London to go and support the other one that is running like us? What did men do again? How did we get into this equation?
What? No. No. Just go away. Oh my god. You're horrible. Just go.
First of all, imagine if this was like a man reacting this way to his woman's haircut or her makeup or anything else that would be superficial. Yeah, I don't think the internet would react in the same way. They would not find that to be funny. Outside of that double standard put aside, I understand that that would be kind of a shock to see somebody, like if you haven't ever seen them without a beard or if you just haven't seen them in a long time without a beard. Because of that, it's normal to have some like shocked emotions. But the thing is that when men go through this, when a woman stands in front of him and surprises him about anything with her physical appearance, he on the spot has to get with it. He has to control those emotions. He cannot just react right off of it, which I think is another demonstration of how men will oftentimes actually emotionally regulate a little bit better than women do. I'm sorry, I can't even say what I was gonna say defending men. That just straight up looks so bad. That looks... Am I in the wrong here, guys? Does that look good to anyone's eyes? Please tell me if I'm wrong. Actually, come to think of it, in this particular situation, that man probably just knew it was gonna turn out like this. He knew it was a bad idea, so he was waiting for her to change her mind. He was hoping that she would change her mind, but she didn't. She just went ahead and did it. And now it looks like this. And now he's going to have way more work to do.
No, it looks terrible. Looks terrible. No tape used. Looks like a nightmare. It looks terrible.
Sweetheart.
Maybe I made it wrong.
No. This is delicious. I'm going to inhale the rest of this and then inhale those onions and dig in.
I tried to make chicken enchiladas.
Try it or did? I think you did. No complaints, only thank yous. Hot waffle. Oh, bless my stars. Thank you so much. Wow. This is what dreams are made of.
And I want you to observe how genuinely grateful he is. So when modern women keep on talking to us about, you need to observe what she likes, what she doesn't like, and then you just need to give it to her. Just read the room. Observe what he likes, what he doesn't like, and then just give it to him. It shouldn't be the hard. That's the bare minimum.
It's just not worth it dealing with someone else every single day of your life. Every day. Every day you gotta deal with somebody. Is marriage even worth it? It's not. It's not. At some point, you're gonna realize that it's always best to just be alone. Because I've been married for about 7 years, and I don't even know if this is worth it. And not saying that there's anything necessarily wrong. There's nothing wrong, and that's the point. I don't even know why I'm upset. I'm just, not thinking that I made the right decision. And I have a good man. I do. And that's not the point. The point is, it's you really do lose yourself. You lose your sense of individuality. You lose your sense of peace. And this could be even to a good man. You're gonna lose something, and I don't think it's worth it. He takes care of me, but
Can you imagine being this man, a good man that has been married for 7 years, has held down a good relationship, has done things for this woman? You have invested time and effort of 7 years into this woman, and she comes on to social media and does a video like this where she is bawling in her car as if she's in some horrible toxic relationship that she can't get out of. And that's not the case. She actually has a good man and a good marriage, and she is emotionally distraught about it. Her position in life is what so many women strive for. They dream about it. They wish that they had this. So for this woman to break down and say that marriage isn't worth it for anyone, no. Maybe the problem is you. Maybe it's because it's all about you. Everything that you talked about for 3 minutes, I had to cut it, but for 3 minutes, everything was about you. The worst combination in life is when you're putting your happiness in the responsibility plate of a relationship. You're not taking that on yourself. It is your responsibility. And if you're not happy with yourself, you don't like yourself, guess what? You're never going to be happy. And then you end up blaming the relationship. You end up blaming a man. And here this man is, he's given so much into this relationship, so many years, so many of his finances, most likely, so much of his time and effort. And this is the end result. This is like a man's worst nightmare, especially a good man's.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you can't afford a woman's lifestyle, then date within your budget. Stop shaming women for wanting what you can't provide.
I don't know who needs to hear this. Oh wait, I do. It's you. Stop objectifying other women. Because women don't fall into a price range because they're not objects. Also, men are not shaming you. They are just exposing your delusional entitled mentality, which is all too often today.
Child support court update. So I had court again today because a new judge was assigned to the case. If you don't know, I get $3,700 of child support every month, and I use it on myself. I don't use it on my kids. The old judge that was assigned to our case was okay with me spending, the child support on myself because he clearly said it was just reimbursement for what I have been spending on my children. But the judge today was not having none of that, and she completely took me off of child support, meaning I'm now getting $0.
Someone needs to tell me if this woman's entire account is satire. Please, because I've talked about one of her videos before where she was going on and on about how she does things for her kids, but she will not do anything for her husband because he's not a child. And now this video pops up on my feed, and apparently she's in the middle of a divorce and she gets a crazy amount of child support, or used to. And now she's complaining to all of us that her child support was taken away because she was spending it on herself instead of the child. Ma'am, do you not feel guilty for taking candy from a child, your child, to be specific? Because that is what you're doing. Even if you are getting a crazy amount of child support and you can't find ways to spend it all on the child at this point, maybe they're too young, punt it into a savings account and punt their name on it. I can't believe that more parents don't do this, because at some point that child is going to grow up and they're going to know, they're going to find out. And trust me, when that day happens, they are going to see you for who you are.
Sometimes I see a girl so exceptionally beautiful that her boyfriend just pisses me off. Like, what could you have possibly done to deserve this? What could you have possibly done, Jacob? Ugh, you don't even understand.
1, he's probably really funny. 2, remember what they say about funny guys. They will make you laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh, and then poof, your clothes are off. And she liked it. He's good in bed. 2 things that you would not know just by looking at him.
So I admitted something to my husband today, which is likely something that your wife is thinking too, or has thought at least once in your marriage. Admitting this to my husband was kind of unwise because I like to keep my cuckoo banana stuff inside, but whatever, it kind of came out. I don't know why goat cheese gets packaged in those logs, so I was making my breakfast sandwich and I was trying to get the goat cheese out to put onto the sourdough toast. It was unwieldy and messy, and stuff was flying all over the place and some fell on the floor. And for me, the fact that this goat cheese packaging was so terrible was my husband's fault. And then the fact that it fell on the floor, in my mind, at that exact moment, was my husband's fault. And I made a little sound. I made a little sound when it fell on the ground that brought my husband's attention to the fact that that cheese fell on the ground and that somehow it was his fault. I mean, a rational person would know that if they spilt cheese on the floor, it is really their fault. I don't think that I am completely alone in this idea of blaming someone else for things that I have done.
Oh, trust me, this is something that men are fully aware of because they have experienced the lack of accountability from plenty of women. Honestly, men that are in a relationship or aren't even in a relationship, they're single, this is one of their worst fears. Because who wants to be blamed for everything wrong in somebody else's life? Men do absolutely like fixing things. Like, I talk about that pretty frequently, but he can't fix everything, and it's going to be super frustrating if you think that a man should fix absolutely everything in your life and that you should never have any sort of discomfort, and when you do have a discomfort or frustration, it's all his fault. Now, for this woman in particular, kudos to her for recognizing it. Now, I think she just needs to take it a step further and really take that accountability, apologize to her husband, and move forward with methods to completely avoid this from happening again.
Men everywhere have FOBC. Fear of being a creep. Okay? Men don't approach women anymore because of FOBC. They don't want to be viewed as a creep. They don't want to be rejected, especially hot men. The only men that are going up to women and approaching them are ugly. So if I see one more video of a man talking about a woman having to be more approachable, I'm just going to tell you this straight up from just experience. I tried that, okay? That is a waste of your damn time. It doesn't matter how approachable you are. A man does not ever get the courage to go up to you because they have FOBC.
Oh man, she was so close. For like the first 10 seconds of this video, she was correct. A big reason why a lot of men don't approach anymore is because they don't want to be seen as a creep. However, the rest of what she says is just incorrect. It's actually the opposite. Because the more attractive a man is, the less likely he's going to be seen as a creep. He knows it, and so do you ladies. Come on, you know that you're not going to find the attractive man approaching you as creepy. It's actually more of that middle ground man that runs the highest risk because he has the confidence to approach you, and a lot of women, like 50% of women at least, would find him attractive, but 50% of women don't find him attractive. That man can't tell if you're a woman that would find him attractive. He's looking for clues. 20 years ago, that exact man could approach a woman who maybe didn't find him attractive, and she would let him down easy, and she wouldn't call him a creep. Remember, this is a man that a lot of women would actually find attractive. He's just not hitting the right mark with the right woman. Ladies, that's not completely his fault. He can't read your mind. So that's what they're talking about when they're saying be more approachable. If you're attracted to that man, be approachable or be the one that actually approaches him. It's not that hard of a concept, ladies.
Get paid for it. This is go to the goddamn window, buy your own pizza. This is for my sister's wedding. Okay?
We're doing a video. You gotta chill.
Yeah.
You gotta chill.
We don't need
It was gonna be a joke.
We got a review? What's the review?
That was...
You have the piece of pizza in your hand, like the literal proof that this wasn't just a joke. You actually took a slice of his pizza. Obviously, that guy was a little tipsy, but everything he said was 100% valid. She needs to go get her own pizza, which means waiting in line and paying for it with her own money. I feel like this whole situation points to the larger issue that men are having today with women, and that is entitlement. She thinks that she's entitled to access his pizza, something that is his, and then when he calls her out for it, it's just a joke. And even by saying that it's a joke when it clearly is not, he is put into this light of like overreacting. Like he's the problem, right? Because he's getting aggressive, he's getting loud, he's saying something to her and getting close to her, when really she's the one that caused the problem.
So what they're saying is, essentially what happened is that was his pizza box. And they're saying apparently it's empty. So somebody gave her a pizza slice and she was about to do a review of the pizza. She saw an empty pizza box. She went and grabbed it, right? If that's the case, then I don't know if I have too much of a problem with that. I would say you probably next time, just to be safe, need to ask, hey, do you have any empty pizza boxes? I want to do a review. Now they're saying that the man was drunk, so he probably wasn't in his right mind. If that's the case, then you definitely probably need to ask. I know you're thinking it's a prank, right? I get where you're coming from. But once again, it doesn't matter if the roles were reversed. As silly as it sounds, if a man would have done that, people would have been in the comments, women specifically, talking about don't touch her stuff. It doesn't matter if it's empty. It's the principle. You don't know if she had anything that she wanted to carry in there. You don't know what was in there. Just leave her stuff alone. Why didn't you go ask? that's what they would have been saying. They wouldn't have been saying he overreacted, he was too drunk, the wedding party apologized, any of that other stuff, because it was his. He paid for it, right? So, just once again, while we understand that maybe he overreacted, understand, like some men in the comments said, it's about the disrespect. You can't just go grabbing stuff that's not yours, even if you don't think that it means very much. Maybe it doesn't mean very much to you, but maybe he wasn't in his right mind and didn't really remember, oh, there's nothing in there. Just the way y'all, I think the whole entire point is the way that y'all want men to consider y'all, even if it's going overboard, even if you think it's going overboard, maybe you should start to consider men the same way.
He might not have told you this, but my daughters do not respect men. So I'm letting you know that now, and I'm not joking when I tell you that, brother. And they have mouths when it comes to them getting into disagreements and engagements with men. And they will verbally put some lashings on you, brother, because they don't respect men. I'm just giving it to you forefront, brother, so you know what you're going in.
I see zero problem with this man enjoying his food that he's about to pay for. Plus, he looks like a blue-collar man, which means he probably just got done working 12 hours straight from 6 a.m. this morning, survived just on caffeine, only to then be able to get ready enough for dinner and then pick you up and then get there at the restaurant. And he's starving by then. Like, he hasn't had 1 calorie other than what was in his energy drinks. But on top of that, he's done all of this for this dinner date and to be able to enjoy it, to be able to enjoy his food and company. And there she is holding a phone. I bet you anything he was having conversation before that point. And then when she had her phone in her hand, that's when it became all about eating his food, enjoying the moment. He could probably eat her food since she looks like she's not hungry. She's not enjoying it. I don't get it. I mean, at this point, can men do anything right?
What the hell happened in the last 8 years that I've been out of the dating pool that men are so afraid to approach women? I was even having a conversation with a man last night about this, and I asked him, why don't you? And his answer like broke my heart. He said he didn't want to come off as a predator.
A good man with good intentions will absolutely have this fear of being seen as a predator, and it is completely valid for him to have that fear today, because many times there's just incorrect assumptions and sometimes there's flat out false allegations, which is why as a man today you need to do your due diligence to find out more about that woman that you're interested in. I always recommend to men to do a public data check on a trusted website like publicdatacheck.com. That is where you can see if there's been court cases, you can see if there's been allegations, and if there is a pattern there, you can see it as a red flag and you can get out of there. You can save yourself a lot of hassle.
I was getting dressed the other day and I had Spanx on. I was like wearing this dress and I had Spanx on, and Kevin comes up to me and he like hugs me and he's like, why are you wearing those? He like immediately can tell. And I'm like, well, this dress is a little tight, you know, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, but there's no jiggle. And I'm like, that's the point. And he was like, okay, like if that's what you want. And I'm like, wait, I'm like, you like it jiggly, like my tummy, my butt. He was like, yeah. Do all men feel this way? Is it just my husband? I don't know.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is all men, because it really falls into that all natural category that men love. They love your natural state. So when you're wearing something that's super tight but smoothing, that doesn't really give the full effect of what a woman's body really is and what it looks like and what it does. It's really the same thing as when men say they don't really love a ton of makeup and they really don't care about the long eyelashes, the big thick lips with filler, or the really long fingernails with different colors. They would rather have natural. And it's not that the other things are a total turnoff, although for some men, I think they would say that it is a total turnoff. For many, it's just that they don't care about it. So they would rather just have you be natural because it's less work, you're more comfortable, and he gets to enjoy what he really actually likes.
Imagine that. What a concept. I can't imagine how many men have told their significant other this exact same thing.
I don't know if you can see this, but there's a girl running in front of me. And obviously it's pretty early in the morning, and I don't want to scare her. So I keep having to stop just to create some distance, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm following her. And I need to run but I just don't want to be weird about it. So I'm just trying to find a way to run faster and not make it look weird. Yeah, let's see what happens.
This one might surprise some of you guys in what I'm about to say, but I actually think that this man's thought process is good because it means that he's a good man that is fully aware of the situation. He doesn't want to make that woman feel uncomfortable or fearful. What I would recommend is for that man to stop doing what he's doing as far as speeding up and slowing down, because that might actually come across as him following her. So instead, speed up, run your normal speed, you do you. But as you are approaching her, yell out, scream, "I'm not a kidnapper!" Like, because what kind of kidnapper yells out that you're not a kidnapper? Like, it's not going to happen that way. So then she'll just giggle and move to the side, and then you can continue on your run. Problem solved.
Your husband knows how to find onions. He knows what onions look like. He's texting you to punish you. He's texting you 50 times from the grocery store to bother you, to inconvenience you, to punish you for asking him to do something.
Or maybe he's asking you where they are in the grocery store because every grocery store is a little bit different and he wants to get in and out because he knows he's on a time limit. He better only take about 30 minutes or else you're going to be upset at him. And yeah, of course he knows what an onion looks like, but what kind of onion? There's like 6 or 7 different varieties of onion. And he knows the punishment that he went through the last time he got the wrong one. Which is also probably why even once you tell him what kind and how many you need, he's probably going to get one of each. Or he'll at least get 2 of the kind that you are telling him that he needs to get. You gotta remember, ladies, that not everything like this is weaponized incompetence and he's purposely doing it because he hates you. It's way more likely that he actually loves you and he wants to accomplish what you want him to do successfully. And the bottom line is that he doesn't want you to be upset at him.
And you know what's funny about this is that modern women make such a big deal about things that are actually not that important. Say, for instance, in this case, it was onions. But a little story, I went to the store and my wife was saying to me, "Hey, if you go to the store, could you get some tomatoes?" I think she was asking for diced. The particular store that I went to did not have diced, but they did have crushed or something close to it. So I got that and then I brought it to the house. And she said, "Oh, these are not what I was looking for." And I was like, "Oh, shoot. Let me go back and get them." Like, I don't know what I was thinking. She said, "No, you know what? It doesn't matter. This works just fine. I can do something with this." Ended up having a good meal that night. You know why? Because it wasn't that important. There were still tomatoes at the end of the day. And you can cook with a tomato. Imagine that. What a concept.
Where do I find the men who don't mind if there's a little hair downstairs? Asking for a friend.
As with most things, it kind of depends on how much. If it's really just a little, most men don't care. If he does care, don't worry, he will let you know. But what I can say most men care about is whether or not you're going to be asking these provocative questions online when you start dating him.
I started going on dates last August. It is also August. So I've been consistently dating for a year now. And I don't have a boyfriend. But let me tell you what I do have. I have a financial advisor. I have a physical therapist. I have a CEO to get investment and business advice from. I have a plastic surgery doctor. I have a man who fixed my car for me. So while I don't have a boyfriend, I do have many other professions now in my back pocket. I have a man who knew I wanted a G7X. He's gonna watch this. He knew I wanted a G7X, and so he bought it. I paid him for it. I wouldn't do that, but I couldn't get it on the drops, and he got it for me. I don't have a boyfriend, but I do have a lot, so go on those dates, ladies.
So she may not have a boyfriend, but she has a big old friend zone that she is apparently bragging about. But even benefit of the doubt. Let's say she's blaming herself for not having a boyfriend. She's saying that it's because of her that these dates didn't turn into a relationship. She is still promoting this sort of one-sided relationship where she can just be there, right? She just gives her presence to a man, and then a man is willing to give her all of these things. When the reality of real relationships is that it takes 2 people putting in effort. She has to be willing to put in just as much effort as he does. But the problem with dating today is that that's not what's happening. This message from women to women is being spread that women should just be able to sit back, that it's actually better if you sit back, because if as a woman you provide effort, you might actually catch the wrong kind of man on your hook. You might catch like a user or a lazy man, when that's not reality, because smart men that are financially stable, that have success, they actually want a woman that is willing to have something on the table, something that that woman is willing to give to that man. Am I right, guys?
Here, babe, I made you a sandwich.
You made me a sandwich? This is for me?
And I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you and everything you do for our family.
You look so good.
And when you're done eating that, meet me upstairs because I definitely don't have a headache tonight.
Okay.
Okay, wait, I'm so pissed off. I just got home from a date. The guy walked out literally 10 minutes into our date. If you're a straight man, I need your opinion on this desperately because I think I'm right and clearly he thinks that he's right. So we matched on Hinge and I have really good photos of myself on Hinge. A few of them are AI generated. They look exactly like me. While we were out on our coffee / like walking date, within like the first 15 minutes, he asked me where one of my photos was taken. I'm not a liar, so I said that it was an AI generated photo. And he said, yeah, I don't think we're a match. And he left. He left. That seems so dramatic to me. And also, like, everyone is using AI generated photos. If they look like you, who cares? The ones I use with Dream Ones look exactly like me. They're not like the crappy ChatGPT ones. So what is the difference? Who cares? I don't know. If you're a straight man, let me know. What do you think?
The truth is that it doesn't look exactly like you. So most straight men will consider this as false advertising. And they just don't like it. You know, it's like giving your hopes up right here and then you just like drop down to here once you actually meet the girl. And on top of that, even though you're being honest at that point, like you weren't really being honest in the profile. So that level of dishonesty in itself is unattractive. What I think is kudos to him because he was being open and honest. He ended the date when he knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. And I think that's what dating should be. You shouldn't be wasting each other's time.
It's just a silly statement. It really is just a silly statement. How are you defending yourself? How are you doing that?
As if women don't do this. The only difference really is that women will do this without anyone watching them. They'll do it for dinner time when they're eating by themselves. Whereas men, they are just going to eat what they want to eat. So he's going to take the whole box of Cheez-Its to his workplace and he's going to eat it without shame. He doesn't care, which I think is the way to go. Like you shouldn't really care what other people think about what you're eating. He's eating what he wants. He's probably saving you 2 to 3 Ziploc baggies. Those are expensive. So he is thinking about the budget. He's saving the family money. It just makes sense. And let's be real, he'll just get his full meal, his protein in, his maybe veggies in, maybe not at dinner time. Even if she's not cooking anything for him, even if nobody else is cooking anything, he will run to the grocery store, get a raw steak. He will cook that steak and he will eat just that. Maybe no sides.
Surprise, surprise. There's a lot of men out there that don't really focus on eating. They're focused on working. So whatever gets in my stomach and I can get back to work, that's what I'm going to do.
I'm sorry. What is that?
This is the smoked salmon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I still want to eat it. It's like I bit the onion. I bit the onion. It doesn't, you can't just bite into it.
I gotta be honest, this is like one of the top worst nightmares of a girlfriend for a man. Because that man is not going to be able to do anything right when it comes to this territory, right? Another woman speaking to him in front of his girlfriend and she's not super friendly to his girlfriend. That is just not going to be okay with that girlfriend ever. For that man, if he continues that relationship down the line, that's not going to get better. That's going to probably get worse or at least stay the same. He's not going to be able to have any female friends for sure, and he's not going to be allowed to talk to strangers without having some sort of emotional damage to his girlfriend. That is just exhausting.
I mean, honestly, at this point, she's really got to get some sort of therapy and fast. Like, call your therapist right now in the middle of this meal.
Does it hurt for dudes to keep going once it's over?
Hurt?
Yeah.
It never hurts.
What does it feel like then?
It's intense. I don't know. It's not like painful though.
Okay, does it hurt like hurt as in like a different term? Like, you know?
I would say it's like it's just an intense feeling. I don't know how else to put it. It doesn't hurt though. But every time, yeah.
What do you mean every time?
Like if we keep going, that intense feeling happens every time.
Okay, so you think most dudes would agree that it doesn't hurt?
It doesn't hurt, but it's intense and you like still want it to.
It's not a bad feeling of intense?
No, but it can be so intense that like you have to stop it so that let me like breathe for a second.
So I just found out that I'm not hot. And this was based on a really humbling experience where I'm trying to get 4 men together to help me move a really heavy object from point A to point B. Not a far point A to point B either. And I can't do it. It can't be done. I'm in hell. I've tried for days, texting every man I know. Can you please come help me move this heavy thing? It's a piece of granite, by the way. I think we can use that as a gauge. Number 1, can you get a group of men to help you move a heavy object from point A to point B? Number 2, how far can you get them to move it? Because what I need is a piece of granite moved about 15 feet. Cannot gather 4 men to do that. Oh, I can't. I'm going to be hung over that day. Oh, I can't. Football is on. Wah. Number 1, they don't make men like they used to. Because how come nobody wants to be helpful? Little helpless old me? You want me to pick up the granite slab? Why? You're not being helpful. Number 2, I need to level up.
I'm sorry, but this is not telling of how hot you are. This is telling of how many men that you've placed in your friend zone. And it sounds like they all exited themselves without you even realizing. Because if you think that men are just going to give all of that effort, all of that time just because you're attractive and you're literally just sitting there and you're not reciprocating anything back, they are over that. They would rather have a true friend that they're putting effort towards, or they'd rather have somebody that's wanting to be in a real relationship with them. It's that simple. Stop trying to expect things from men when you're giving them literally nothing back.
Apparently, men never know when you're flirting with them. Is that true?
Yes, this is true, because let's be honest, ladies, we do not make it that obvious. I mean, obvious to a man would be literally saying the words, I like you, can you take my number, or can I have your number? But I know, ladies, you're not gonna do that because you're too afraid of rejection. I get it. But at the very least, you could work on being a bit more obvious, because how many times do we see a woman actually avoid eye contact, look down to the man that she's interested in? And then she'll be all talkative and making full-on eye contact the entire time with a man that she's not interested with. And how many times do we hear women say, just because I give you a compliment doesn't mean that I want you? Or just because I'm nice to you doesn't mean that I want you. And if you think that I want you because I'm being nice to you, you're a creep. This is why men just can't win. And they generally usually don't guess right. And they've gone through that experience. So they kind of wait for it to be extremely obvious. They're waiting for women to actually say the words that they're interested in them. The other huge part of this for good men is that even if it's not a woman that would call them a creep or be mean to them, they still don't want to inadvertently make a good woman, a nice woman that is just being genuine. He doesn't want to make her uncomfortable. That is absolutely the very last thing that man wants to do to a good woman.
My boyfriend is diabolical. Do you know what he told me this morning? Let me show you. So this, I don't wash my face very well at night, okay? Judge me. But this is from leftover face makeup at the end of the night when I wash my face. For the past year, 1 whole year, he has believed that when I get out of the shower and wipe my butt, that is leftover. For the past year. So he's moved in, and these towels, I used at his house. So at his house, when I did that, and I got face makeup on his towels, he literally thought...
That man is a keeper. The fact that he didn't say anything to her for an entire year, meanwhile he's like washing towels that he thinks has poo on them. But throughout all of that, he stayed. He accepted a major flaw. The man was probably silently gagging while loading the laundry every other day. This is also clear proof that there can be a difference in the standard of cleanliness between a man and a woman. Honestly, the only real downside to this is that that woman, she can never complain about anything. Like, she cannot complain about anything that man does. If he likes to keep his dirty dishes in the sink, if he likes to keep the cup that he uses throughout the day next to the sink all day long, she literally cannot say anything because of this.
Dude in the comments said it shows that men don't always choose to make a big deal out of things. We handle it and we move on. Thank you. Thank you. That's exactly it. Out here ruining towels. But did you hear from him? Absolutely not. He just did what it was supposed to be done. Didn't complain about it. Maybe you should take the hint at some point in time and do the same in the future.
If you know that a lane is closed, but you continue to drive in it in order to get ahead of and cut in front of a bunch of other people because for some reason you think that your time is more valuable than anyone else, just know that I will wreck my car before I let you get in front of me.
Oh no, this lady's like single-handedly proving why some of us shouldn't have driver's licenses. For those of you that don't know, this is called a zipper merge, and it's actually safer, it's faster for everyone, and it makes more sense than backing up all in one lane. But she's not like the only one to think this way. This is why they actually will place signs, oftentimes way back before the merge, to say, please use both lanes, merge at the merge point. Also, to side with all of the logical thinkers out there, the lane isn't closed until it's closed. Now, from my own experience, I will most oftentimes just stay in the lane that's kind of backed up if I'm not in a huge rush. And then those that are in a huge rush or want to go faster, they can be in the fast lane. Could you imagine what would have happened if this was a man putting his feet all over a woman's back at a game and like pushing into him? There would have at least been 10 bystanders involved, pulling him back, holding him until the police got there. The police would not have been so gentle, and he would have been walked out in handcuffs. And I think we all know that a woman wouldn't be as calm, cool, and collected as a man would if this was her getting his feet all over her back. But I do absolutely commend that man for staying so calm and cool and collected, because that is real restraint that has been learned. Like, that man knows the consequences for having any sort of negative reaction. That man is a smart cookie. He knows the double standard, and he is just living and doing what he needs to do to keep himself protected. Remember that, guys.
Why in the world would you have your feet on somebody? That's freaking disgusting. That's disgusting. And then you're going to have a problem with that man saying, don't do that, get your feet off of me.
Imagine if this was a man doing this. Like, not only would he be completely destroyed in the comments, he would probably lose his job, all his friends, lose his family. He'd probably be in jail for not only the physical violence, but allowing his children to see it. But what bothers me personally the most is even beyond that, it's the fact that it's allowed on social media platforms. We all know that if it was a man doing this, that it wouldn't be up anymore. It would have been taken down for violation of community guidelines.
I think being evil to men is an underrated art form. One of the evil things I like to do to men is go on like a Hinge rampage and match with just like a bunch of guys on Hinge like late at night on like a Friday or Saturday night and get them all like riled up, right, to the point where they're all like, come over, come over, come over. And then to all these different men, I'm just like, yes, send your address, like literally on my way. And then just like never showing up. And then I wake up to like all these messages in the morning like, where are you? Where are you? Where are you coming? Are you coming? And then I just unmatch them.
This does not bother men the way that you think it does, because they are conditioned fishers. They know that when they throw out a line, they're probably only going to get 5 to 10% back. Even when the fish is hooked for a minute, like they know that most likely that fish is going to get itself off. But the reason why she thinks that this would bother him so badly, it's because that's what bothers women. Meanwhile, the stuff that men go through, this doesn't even come close to that. Maybe if you spend years with a man and he invests in you while you're emotionally detaching and then you discard him like he's nothing, that's the sort of thing that men go through. I don't know who in the psychological world I need to ask this question to, but I think that men are really in high need of this. They need the right terminology, a full-on diagnosis, something in order to describe a woman that is ultra controlling. But I don't mean outwardly controlling that everyone else can see. I mean like on the sly, on the DL controlling. Because that is a complaint that I hear frequently from men, especially when it comes to an ex-girlfriend or an ex-wife. Post-breakup, how often do you hear a man talk badly about the woman that he was with? Outside of it just being from him defending himself against things that she's saying. Not very often. But the other way around, how often do you hear women talk about men post-breakup and how badly they'll say that he treated her or acted? All of the time. Where I see this most commonly is in Facebook groups. You guys have heard of the Are We Dating the Same Man Facebook groups? All over the place are there false rumors on that page. Those pages have ruined multiple men's reputation, and a lot of times it is not valid. The other way is one-on-one, where the ex will like reach out to women that, you know, she thinks he is possibly dating or looking to date, and she'll send the hey girly text. And then another way is a very obvious way, and that is through any shared children. Because of that, I think that men could really utilize a term so that when they're speaking to each other or even to other women, there will be just a general understanding of what they're going through, or if they're going through the same thing, they can talk about it. There can be even support groups. Like, this is a very real thing that too many men go through.